So as we're all adjusting to this new normal, I'm sure there's something on your mind that you've been thinking about a lot. And that is the question of how the heck do you network online? So this is a question that you might be asking if you're a business owner or if you are looking for a job. And today I'm going to share a couple of tips I have for you if you are looking to grow your network, whether you're running your own business or you're looking to get a job, or you just want to do some general networking and not feel lonely or something. If you haven't checked out my video of how I pivoted my business during COVID, I have some other ideas if you do run a business, so you can check that out right here. And if you're looking for some more resources on how you can grow your creative business, or if you're a calligrapher wanting to grow your calligraphy business, make sure you check out the 15 free training videos that I have for you, and you can find that in the link in the description. So before we jump into the networking strategies that I'm going to explain later on, I do want to talk a little bit about why right now during the pandemic is such a good time to network and why you should definitely be taking advantage of this time. So normally, you know how we go to in-person networking events, and then sometimes you might get a message from someone online and you might be thinking, well, who the heck is this person? Well, right now, because no one is allowed to go out and network, everyone is really open to online networking. And because we're in this new normal, everyone is kind of more open-minded to meeting people online because you really can't do it in person anymore. So if you aren't networking online, then you really are missing out, because right now is like the best time to do online networking. And the really awesome thing is you can network with people all around the world, and everyone around the world is open-minded to this. Especially if you do business or you're looking for a remote job, maybe on the other side of the country. Well, now you don't have to go travel to that other city in your country and network with the people there if you want a job or you want to do business there. Now you can just do everything online, isn't that awesome? And make sure you stay to the end of this video because I'm going to be sharing my top secret of networking. So let's get into the strategies. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is social media. Now, this is probably like the first thing you think about when you think of networking online. Yeah, obviously social media. So depending on what you use, I really do think you can network with all platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think those are the top 3. And there are other platforms like TikTok, YouTube, or maybe there's like a industry specific platform that people use. So you can check out those. Now for Instagram and Facebook, for the platforms where you can kind of message people, I really love this. And for me in my business, I definitely use Instagram the most because you kind of have like a profile of your own, and then you can direct message people and they can reply to you and stuff like that. So if you're not sure how exactly you can start conversations with people that you want to be in contact with, the first thing you should do is to follow them. And by the way, you can start networking with me. You can practice with me. So make sure you follow me. It's Dina Calligraphy on Instagram. So the first thing you do is you follow them, and then as you're looking at their content, as you are seeing them post more, as you're watching their stories, if you feel like there's something you can comment on, then comment. If you see something on their stories that you think, maybe like they have a dog and you have a dog, then why don't you send them a reply? Like you literally click and reply, and then you say, hey, your dog is so cute. What's his name? Or hey, your dog is so cute. What breed is he? And just from there, just literally sending one sentence, you can start a relationship from there. The other thing on social media that I wanted to mention is utilizing Facebook groups, especially like local Facebook groups or industry specific Facebook groups. So you don't have to necessarily post, but a lot of people will post, and you can see what they're looking for, and you can comment, you can message them, and you can start a relationship that way. And obviously you can post a question if you do have some like specific question you're looking for an answer to. And the other one that I also really like is LinkedIn. So if you're a calligrapher or you run some kind of a creative business, you might not be too familiar with LinkedIn, but because I used to work in a job where I had to use LinkedIn a lot to connect with people, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn still. And so that's why I still use it, because I've already been using it. And so if you haven't checked out LinkedIn already, I would definitely recommend it because it is more of like a professional networking compared to like Instagram or Facebook, which is a little bit more casual. So depending on what type of people you want to meet, you might also want to check out LinkedIn because that's a great place to build a profile and also to network with people. Okay, now you might be thinking, yeah, Dina, I know about social media already. Can you tell me about like online networking events? And yes, I definitely can. So with online networking events, there's a ton out there and you can find them through like Eventbrite, Google, Facebook events. There's a whole ton of ways that you can find them, but I would definitely check out Eventbrite first. I think that's like the default event platform that people will post a public event. So definitely check out that one. And let's say you are registered for an event and most likely it's like a Zoom call. So you're in the Zoom call. Now, how exactly do you network with people in the Zoom call, especially if there's like a main speaker or if there's like 3 panelists? And you don't really get the chance to talk. Maybe it's just more of like an audience kind of listening to 3 panelists talk. How do you network in those kind of situations? So what I have done in these kind of more webinar type events or seminar type events is while the panelist or the speaker is speaking, you can take the first and the last names of everyone who's in the room and you can Google them or you can find them on LinkedIn. If you Google them, it might be harder to find them. Your best bet is going to be LinkedIn, and you can take a look at where they work. And if you think that you do want to connect with them, just add them, and then you can add a note when you add them on LinkedIn and say something like, hey, we're in this event together. You know, I saw you and I see you're working at XYZ company and I would love to connect with you because blah, blah, blah. So if you're enjoying this video so far, take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram stories and tag me at Dina Calligraphy, and I would love to feature you back and help you get some more followers and just, shout you back as well. So another thing you can do to take your online networking to the next level is to join organizations and just really get involved. Even if you can't do it in person right now, there are tons of ways that you can get involved with organizations. So for me as a woman entrepreneur, I really like to be part of the communities of like entrepreneur groups in Vancouver and entrepreneur groups for women in Vancouver and in Canada. So there are a ton of these kinds of organizations. You could just do like a Google search, like women entrepreneur organizations in Canada or wherever you live. Or if you're not a woman entrepreneur, then, just Google your industry and then something where you can find organizations that have communities. Now, these communities might be in their email lists. They might have Facebook groups, or they might have LinkedIn groups or Slack channels. I am part of some of these kind of communities, and it's really awesome because you get to find out about events that aren't posted on public places like Eventbrite or Facebook events. So a lot of the events are only for their members, but then to be a member, a lot of these are free. So definitely take advantage of those, but also don't forget about your university like alumni groups. I still get emails from my university, UBC, and they always have a ton of events. Like they always have alumni speaker events or this kind of networking event. And so yeah, make sure you take advantage of that as well. Okay, so now for the top secret thing you've been waiting to hear from the beginning of this video. So my biggest secret when it comes to networking is to give value. I know a lot of the times when we think of networking, we think, I need to get something out of it. Like, oh, I want to connect with that person because that person can help me with finding a job, or that person can help me with growing my business. But the biggest secret when it comes to networking is actually you giving value. So when you are able to find opportunities to give value to people, they will really appreciate that about you, and they will really appreciate the relationship, and it's gonna be a two-way street. So there's a really great book that I want to recommend to you if you haven't read. It's called Give and Take by Adam Grant, and I'll link it below, but it's definitely a really good book that explains why giving is so great and why, you know, at the end of the day, if you give, you will receive things back. So let me know in the comments if you found this video useful. Are you going to use any of these strategies, or do you have other tips for networking online? Let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are a calligrapher or a creative business owner, because I have a lot more resources that are on the way for you. And if you haven't posted a screenshot of this video yet, do it, tag me, and I will feature you back. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're looking for another video to watch on how you can do better during this pandemic, then make sure you check out this video, and it's about how I pivoted my business during COVID. So yeah, and I will see you guys later. Bye. I hope that wasn't lame. If you are a calligrapher or you are a creative calligrapher or you're a and don't forget, how the heck do you network online?